Shalom, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Barakatah to all my brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bahashim Yahushai to all my sisters. Kal Halal, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh Alahayanawa, Yahweh Akkad. This is your brother Sharma. I'm gonna blow in a quick video, and this video is gonna be how Yahushai, the Christ, did not come to do away with the law. So the first scripture I'm going to go to is in the New Testament, the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Yahushai, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, he says, think not that I have come to destroy the law. Don't even think that he come to destroy the law, nor did he come to destroy the prophet, nor did he come to destroy the works of the prophets, which the works that the prophets have done, they have spoken of the law. They taught the law. They were obedient to the law. But Christ came to fulfill the law. You have many different categories of the law. You have the ceremonial law, the sacrificial law, the moral law of how Israelite brothers, the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans should treat each other. And you also have the cleanliness laws, right? How to deal with uncleanliness, how to deal with uncleanliness, right? And cleanliness as well. So Yahushua says, think not that I come to destroy the law. Nor do I want you to think that I come to destroy the works of the prophets. But I ain't come to fulfill the law. We're going to see what law Christ fulfilled. Now we're going to go to the book of Leviticus. Let me see, right? Chapter 7, verse 1. Likewise, this is the law of the trespass offering. It is most holy. In the place where they kill the burnt offering, shall they kill the trespass offering. And the blood thereof shall he sprinkle round about upon the altar. Right? So I'm going to go to Leviticus chapter 23. Verse 18. This is another category of the law, which is the sacrificial law, right? Leviticus chapter 23, verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish for the first year, and 1 young bullock and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto Yahweh, with their meat offering and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire, a sweet savor unto Yahweh. Verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings, right? So, there you go. A goat was sacrificed for a sin offering, and the blood of the sacrifice goat was sprinkled on the children of Israel, right? So the Most High, Yahweh, so he could forgive them for their sins. Yahushai, he came to fulfill the sacrificial law. Now I'm going to go to Hebrews chapter 10, the book of Hebrews chapter 10. Start from verse 1. For the law having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never with those sacrifices which they offered year by year, continually making the comers thereunto perfect. So basically, the children of Israel, you Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? We sacrificed sin offerings, peace offerings unto the Most High Yahweh every year. And being though we sacrifice those animal sacrifices every year unto Yahweh, it was a remembrance unto us that whenever we broke the laws of God that wasn't punishable by death, that we had to sacrifice an animal. And it also was memorable by the Most High as well, that these people, Yasha'Allah, the children of Israel, they are a rebellious people. They are a rebellious nation, a people that is stiff-necked and stubborn. They sacrifice bulls and goats, sin offerings and peace offerings unto me, and they go commit sins again, which is transgressing against the law. Verse 2, for then would they not have seeds to be offered, because that the worshippers once purged should have had no more conscience of sins. So basically, the fact that these animal sacrifices were offered year by year continually, up until the point Yahushua came, it was always a remembrance by the children of Israel that they sinned. Whenever they would sin, whenever they would break a law that was punishable by death, they would have to sacrifice a bull or a goat for a sin and a peace offering, right? Let me see. Now I'm going to go to verse 3. But in those sacrifices, there is a remembrance again made of sins every year. For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away sins. So it's not possible that the blood of bulls and goats should take away sins, right? The children of Israel, they would sacrifice bulls and goats, peace offerings and sin offerings year by year, every year, right? And that was a remembrance to them that they sinned by them sacrificing a bull or a goat to appease the wrath of the Most High, right? So, now this is Hebrews chapter 5. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he saith, sacrifice and offering, thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me. And burnt offerings and sacrifices for sin, thou hast had no pleasure. So, the goats and the rams and the bulls that the children of Israel used to make as sin offerings and peace offerings unto the Most High to appease his wrath, the Most High has no pleasures in the burnt offerings of the goats and the bulls anymore. He has no pleasure in those animal sacrifices anymore. Verse 7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O Yahweh. Above, when he said sacrificing offering and burnt offerings and offering for sin, thou wouldest not, neither hadst pleasure therein, which are offered by the law. So the sacrifices of sin offering, which is a sin offering, which is a young kid goat, and a peace offering, which is a lamb, right? Which is a lamb without blemish. The Most High, he has no pleasure in them. Sacrifices that were offered by the law. Verse 9. Then said he, lo, I come to do thy will, O Yahweh. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second. The first covenant. What is the first covenant? The category of the law, which is a sacrificial law, that was in the first covenant, right? In the first agreement that the Most High made with the children of Israel, whenever they would transgress a law, that they would have to sacrifice a ram, a goat, or a lamb without blemish, right? For the first year. Every year by year, those sacrifices were a remembrance to the children of Israel and to the Most High that the children of Israel had to sacrifice bulls, goats, and lambs so they could appease the wrath of the Most High, right? But now the Most High has offered his son Yahushua as the ultimate sacrifice. Now I'm going to go to the book of Psalms, chapter 40. Let me see. The book of Psalms, chapter 40, and verse 6. Sacrifice and offering, thou didst not desire mine ears. Hast thou opened burnt offering and sin offering? Hast thou not required? Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O Yahweh. Yea, thy law is within my heart. So basically, right, verse 6 is the same exact thing that we have read in Hebrews chapter 10, right, where the Most High, he doesn't want the sacrifices of bulls and goats, right? He doesn't want those sacrifices at all. But now we're going to go to where Christ was sacrificed, right? It's the book of Matthew, chapter 26, right? Book of Matthew, chapter 26. Let me see. All right, the book of Matthew, chapter 26. Let me see. All right, the book of Matthew, chapter 26. So now you got Judas, who betrayed Yahushua, who gave Yahushua over to the Roman authority, right? So basically we see that the sacrificial law is done away with. Christ came to fulfill that sacrificial law. He came to fulfill that sacrificial law. Right? It's Matthew chapter 27 and verse 4. Saying, I have sinned, and that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us? See thou to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. This is when Judas had felt on that he betrayed Yahushua, the Son of the Most High, Yahweh. Right? So, let me see. Verse 12. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then said Pilate unto him, hearest thou not how many things they witness against thee? And he answered him too, never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. Now at the feast, the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would. And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Yahushua, which is called Christ? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on a judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, Hast thou nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. So now even Pilate's wife, she knew that Yahushua was a just man. She knew that Yahushua had done no wrong, right? But due to the hard hearts and the stubbornness of the children of Israel, and the stubbornness of the scribes, Pharisees, and the Sadducees, they wanted to kill Yahushua. They wanted to crucify Yahushua. Right? Verse 25. Then answered all the people and said, his blood be on us and on our children. Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Yahushua, he delivered him to be crucified. Verse 27. Then the soldiers of the governor took Yahushua into the common hall, and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him, and put him on a scarlet robe, and put on him a scarlet robe. And when they had planted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him, and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. And they spit upon him, and took the reed, and smote him on the head. So they mocked Yahushua. They even bowed down in front of Yahushua, and he said, Hail, the King of the Jews, right? Now I'm going to go to where he was being crucified at. Alright, so he saved others. Himself he cannot save if he be the King of Israel. Let him now come down from the cross and he will believe, and we will believe him. He trusted in God. Let him deliver him now, if he will have him, for he saith, I am the Son of God. Right? Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over the land unto the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Yahushua cried a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Right? So now, let me see. Yahushua, he was sacrificed. Yahushua was the ultimate sacrifice, right? Just like the kid goat and the ram for the sin offering, animal sacrifice the Lord is not pleased with anymore, because the Lord know that we did not have the right spirit doing those animal sacrifices, and he also knew that animal sacrifice could not take away sin. Verse let me see. Alright, so Yahushua, he was tormented. He was spat on. He was smacked. He was thirsty, but they gave him vinegar to drink. Verse 47. Some of them that stood there went, when they heard that, said, This man calleth for Elias. And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar, which is vinegar, and put it on a reed and gave him to drink. The rest said, Let us see whether Elias will come to save him. Yahushua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. When he cried again, he yielded up the ghost, man, and this is when he finally gave up the spirit. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twine from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose. So basically, the veil, so the Levitical priests, they would go in the Lord's temple. They would go in the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies is where the Levitical priests, they would sacrifice the burnt offerings and the sin offerings and the peace offerings unto the Most High. So once Yahushua was sacrificed, once he was tormented and tortured, once he gave up the ghost, the veil that is in the temple, which is the curtain to block off the holiest of holies from the rest of the temple, that was split into two. So now we don't have to sacrifice bulls and goats, sin offerings, peace offerings, or a lamb for the first year without blemish. We don't have to do that anymore. Yahushua, he was the ultimate sacrifice. Verse 54. Now when the centurion and they that were with him watching, Yahushua saw the earthquake. That were watching Yahushua saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, truly this was the Son of God. And many women were there beholding afar off, which followed Yahushua from Galilee, ministering unto him. Among which was Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James, and
Joy, and the mother of Zebedee's children. He went to Pilate and begged the body of Yahushua. Then Pilate commanded the body to be delivered. And when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn out of the rock. And he rolled a great stone to the door of the sepulchre and departed. So you got sacrificial law is done away with. Sacrificial law is done away with in Christ.
gift that we got through Yahushua's death, through Yahushua's death was grace. The Most High adopted us back into his love with grace. Now I'm going to go to this scripture right here. This is the book of Romans chapter 7. Right, the book of Romans chapter 7 and verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth. So, as long as man and woman lives on this earth, the law has dominion over us. The law, the Most High Yahweh has dominion over us, meaning we must apply the laws of the Most High power to our lives on a day-to-day basis, right? Verse 2. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. Even women, if you have a husband, according to the law, you are supposed to be with your husband. If you're not with your husband, if your husband is alive, you are still married to that man. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of her husband. If that woman's husband, if her husband dies, she is loosed from that law. Now she can go and be married to another man. Now she will not be called an adulteress, right? So that's my time, Israel. This is your brother Shar Moth. Shalom. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Barakatham to all my brothers. Shalom. Yahweh Shamar Elatham Bahashim Yahushai to all my sisters. Kal Halai Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Shema Yasha'Allah Yahweh Alahayanawa Yahweh Akkad. Shema Yasha'Allah Yahweh Alahayanawa Yahweh Akkad. Shema Yasha'Allah Yahweh Alahayanawa Yahweh Akkad. That is Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 4. Hear Israel, the Lord our God is one. Shalom.